Hello everybody, hope you can see me all right. You can see my curly hair today. I'm got multiple things that I'm going to talk to you about today. So hang on to your hat because I'm just going to take advantage of this time and talk about multiple things. Once again, my eyes are blurry. I think I've been overworking my eyes. I'm switching it up a little bit with my videos once again. I am showing you my summertime stay cool routine. I bought an air fryer. I'm making cold sandwiches again, and I can eat the onion rings because they're in the air fryer. So welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I am a mystic. An empath, a strong, awakened empath, okay? And I talk about a variety of things as to how my spiritual practice has developed from Wicca and realizing I'm a spiritualist and then a medium and so forth. And it relates to a lot of the karma and generational trauma that I have acquired through my life. And I have lived to tell the tale. I've survived it, so I'm sharing a lot of things. On today's video, I want to talk to you about staying strong and healing from any type of a relationship breakup, especially when it relates to someone toxic or someone really stuck in childhood, a childhood trauma, and a narcissist. And don't jump to conclusions unless you have really discovered over time that that is more than likely what they are. I've been able to tap into people's minds with telepathy because of 45 plus years of living with them. And sometimes my guides would show me after reading tarot what they were actually thinking. But anything I say on this channel, okay, here's my disclaimer, that has to do with finance, you know, how I've done with my money or what I'm doing with it now, or, you know, the economy and my personal views, or anything legal, such as starting up my business again, or anything else that I might be doing to supplement my income. These are my opinions and my experiences that I'm sharing with you. You have to use your own discernment. And when it comes to psychology and all of these things that I'm talking about that are spiritual, you may have to defer to a psychologist who specializes in the areas of narcissism to either help you through your healing journey. But I'm going to provide you with some tips today. I am a shamanic counselor, all right? So that being said, you can see that I've made myself a turkey wrap with spinach. It's a spinach wrap. I got it at Aldi. And the turkey meat I got at my other local grocery store, which is in the Midwest here. I used to work there. And then sparkling ice drink. There's a drink called Poppy that I learned about from another YouTuber that I've been watching for years. I kind of watched her grow up. And it has prebiotics. So I take prebiotics and I take probiotics. I use a Good Belly probiotic drink. And again, this is just what I have learned that I need to do in order to provide more healthy bacteria to my digestive system. And yeah, the air fryer is freaking awesome. The heat was contained in it, and I did not heat up this place any more than it already gets. So, that's self-care, learning to eat healthy, drink healthy. I'm taking my supplements and my digestive enzymes as well, and potassium, and at night I take magnesium so that I don't get muscle cramps after exercising. Other things that I'm doing for self-care is as much DoorDash as I can. That's something I was led to do by my spirit guides 3 years ago. Now, even though I've entitled this video Recognizing BS, I'm getting to that in a minute, okay? Along with recognizing your ability to heal and feel and cry when someone has hurt you, you need to acknowledge that you have the courage to feel, you have the courage to cry, and you have the courage to pick yourself up and go on and speak whatever truth you need to speak to them. Okay, so I've gone to the pool, I think, once after exercising, and then I've gone to the hot tub. So there's quite a few things here that I can utilize like a spa. And I keep this place nice and cool, and I have to close the blinds and make it dark. But I'm also deciding that I needed to change things up. I've gotten rid of the gray sheets and the gray comforter for the summer. I'm up on the 3rd floor. I'm in a more secure building, and that might be something that you need to do as well, or install a surveillance camera. Changing things up, which I have to do here. I have to rearrange, reorganize, get rid of some things, sell other things, and figure out ways to live in this tiny space. It's been causing me anxiety. I went into a studio after I sold my mobile home. Sorry for looking away so much, I'm thinking. But it kind of had a, not a split level, what do you call it? A step down, a down step living area. What was that? It was a building from the 70s, very old. But it had a tiny little narrow galley kitchen, which I don't really like very much at all. So my 1-bedroom apartment, of course, had the nice big square kitchen. And this is a shrunken version. So there's blessings, guys. There's silver linings. You know, I had to downsize once again to a studio. It's just a shrunken version of the 1-bedroom apartment. I've got a nice big square kitchen. And I had remembered this place. I've previously seen it before, 4 years ago. A smaller living space area, but there is a little bar where you can just put 2 bar stools if you want. And you could put a double bed, not a queen size bed, and you can even turn it the other way and try to make a separate little area. So by changing up all these things, and even changing up my color scheme right now from dark feminine to lighter, brighter colors, is a way to sort of release even more stress and any negative energies that might have still been attached to me in any way whatsoever. So you can see I still got my purple pillows in the back, but my yellow pillows in the front. Stripped off the gray sheets today, put on gold sheets I've used in the past. And then I have I want to get a duvet, but I haven't been able to find one yet. This is a curtain panel. It looks like damask. And then the pink furry blanket, which I bought at my studio apartment 4 years ago. And this is Jade, and she calls this her blanket. I have pictures of her frolicking in it when I first got it, and she was a kitten. So it's looking lighter and brighter in here, and that's what you have to do. The walls are a different color here. The other apartment, they were grayish. So it has been recommended. It's come to my attention. You need to smudge. You need to cleanse your space. You need to light a candle for one of your deities, whoever it is. Repaint your walls, or at least repaint one of them in the main room where you used to spend time with the toxic person. Or just repaint your bedroom walls, or rechange your bed sheets, disinfect your bed, your mattress if you were living with them and you were sleeping together. And just do things differently. Just make everything as different as you possibly can. So my bedroom dresser is in the living room. My altar is there. I've got a piece of glass on it. My cabinet is over here instead of at the entryway table. I may actually put it back over there to free me up some space over here for a bookshelf, but it's also got glass on it. I'm trying to figure things out, and it's going to take probably 6 months or more. My downstairs neighbor showed me his place, which was full of furniture, but he turned his bed the other way. It was a twin bed. If I got a canopy bed, like from Restoration Hardware, and hung some sheer curtains, it would designate a space, and it would actually give me 3 feet more of space. So where this pink fur thing is on the bed, I would have that much more space that I could actually put a chair on either side of this little round table I have here. I pushed my coffee table back up against the bed, and then I've taken a chair to sit here. When I'm not sitting here to watch TV, I will move it back over by the other window. I've got too many chairs here. I haven't figured out yet what to do with that. But I am slowly making trips to Goodwill, and my truck is for sale. I'm asking for you to please send me positive energy to get this truck sold. I have been focusing on breaking any blocks. I went to something called Rath Yatra yesterday at the temple. I was invited by the priest, and it's an important festival. Oh my gosh, there were so many people there. I'm inserting pictures. It's called a chariot festival, and from what I understand is that this is a time when they would put the gods on the chariot and parade these gods, these 3 gods, through the streets of a city so that anyone and everyone could see them. And it was primarily and especially for those that weren't allowed to go into the temples. So, you know, they have a caste system. So it could be that when you're in a particular lower caste, you're not allowed to go into certain temples that maybe have these gods. So I went there, I left here at 9, I got there at 9:30. The priest was starting already. There was a number of pujas and havanas, I think he called them, for various major entities related, like Vishnu, I think. We started with Ganesha, and then he went on to the other 3 aspects of, I think, the avatars of Vishnu. I'm still learning. And then everybody brought food. Oh my gosh, there was so much food. And I wasn't hungry in the morning, so I didn't eat. And at one point I was like, oh my gosh, I am so hungry. I was going into a trance, you know, and I thought, okay, this is good. And then you're supposed to concentrate on the God while he's chanting, and also whatever it is that your needs are, right? So you can receive a blessing. And then finally I got past the stage of being super hungry, right? And then we're outside and we're just pulling the chariot around in a U-turn up and down the gravel driveway into the temple. That's all we can do. And bring it back as a representation of going through the city and letting everybody see the gods. And then bring the chariot back into the temple. And a lot of the dishes were made with rice. They're vegetarian. And spices. There was bread pudding. There were some fried meats. A couple of things that I liked. A couple of spices always make me cough. But I liked it. So I didn't actually get out of there until after 2 o'clock. I got home around 2:30 and I just wanted to take a nap. Then I had to go out and do DoorDash. So I'm taking advantage of what's called Dash Now. It would come up and say, we're busy right now if you want to dash. Or I would go on to schedule and it would say Dash Now. And I'd be like, well, I'm in my pajamas or I'm in my bumming around the house clothes. Maybe I should get up earlier and just get dressed and stay dressed and be ready, right? So I take down a pair of shoes while I'm in my flip-flops and I throw them in the car, and I need to add another pair of pants and a dress for going to temple. Because if I'm in the area and I'm doing DoorDash and I'm ready to stop, I can put something on respectable and go into the temple. Now some people do show their shoulders. I saw a young girl with her shoulders exposed. I've never been told you have to leave because your shoulders are showing. It's just another tradition that they've had for women to put a scarf over their shoulders. But it's not, you know, an unforgivable sin. At this point, if they asked me to stand on my head and walk in on my hands backwards, I would do it, because I'm just so profoundly touched by the fact that I've not only been visited by Ganesha, but been shown Shiva in the dream and given a chance to actually walk the path, as the priest said, of my soul, and not just what my conscious interests are or my bloodline. My bloodline is German, French, English. So I can practice Druidism. I could continue to do that. But with my frequency of my life path number and the deities that correspond to my soul, that's Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma. So, you know, it's up to you if you want to choose that. But, you know, there's more to us than we have ever been told. Now, this is making me feel, just this extra 3 feet of space in here is making me feel less anxious. Instead of me feeling like I have to go in and out of the house 3, 4, or 5 times a day, twice to do DoorDash, you know. And it's nice. I'm making money. What did I do? I went and I bought a shoulder pad for my shoulder strap for my car. So finally I got rid of that irritation. And then I graduated from a cardboard box in the back of my trunk where I was organizing things to a trunk organizer at Walmart. I'll insert a picture. It was only $14 and it's well made. It's not cardboard. And so as I'm learning to get even more organized in my car and have things ready to go when I need to, it's not like I'm living out of my car. It's just I have a busy mobile life. And I'm going to get a new steering wheel cover. I'm kind of sprucing it up a little bit because 2025, if you add up those numbers, 2 and 2 is 4 and 5 is 9. 9 is a number of completion. It's a strong energy. This year is 8, which is an executive number. I'll explain a little bit more. For some reason, I've been thinking about the story of Joseph, you know, the Joseph in the coat of many colors, how he was used by God to be thrown into a ditch, sold into slavery, and then recognized for his dreams. He had been made fun of because he had a dream where stalks of wheat were bowing down to him, and his brothers were jealous of him. Oh, you're Dad's favorite. Now you think you're just some kind of a, I don't know what, saint or special person or whatever. And it's hard really to interpret these dreams, but Joseph finally did. And when he was thrown into prison after he had been, I think, bought out of slavery, something else happened. He was able to interpret the dreams of the people that were in prison with him. And word got around. And so Pharaoh had a dream and called Joseph up and said, I hear that you interpret dreams. He said, well, basically I try. I think I'm okay at it. Well, I've had this dream. It's pretty obvious. But Pharaoh wanted to know what he thought about it, right? There was 7 fat cows, and then 7 skinny cows, and then 7 stalks of wheat, and then I guess 7 dried up stalks of wheat, things like that. And what he said was, basically like his father had a habit of being frugal and preparing for lean times. I would say there's probably going to be 7 years of abundance and then 7 years of drought. That's a heck of a long time, guys, to be suffering drought. But I can tell you, even in my marriage, it's hard for me to say, but off and on we were on economic assistance for about 7 years. I'd say 7 years total. 2 of those years might have been after I had moved away from my marriage, took my daughter and was a single parent. So, thank God it was there. It's very hard when you're not making much money to pay for everything by yourself. I think that this year is the time where you see where I'm being led to actually skinny down and operate in a very lean fashion. A lot of people are getting rid of things they don't really need, they're not really using. What, if you want to go do something, you can rent it for the day, or you want to go camping, you can rent a camper for a weekend, or buy a tent. Just things, we have options. We don't have to own a bunch of stuff. And if we need to, pay down a bill or pay down our debts, people are going to have to be really, really tightening their belt. I'd say, well, until sometime after January, soon thereafter maybe, 2025, when things are going to be even higher than they are right now. So I'm feeling that now is the time for me to take advantage of whatever extra monies that come in and other plans that I have for supplementing my income and pay down my debts and really start saving at the same time, at least $25 at first, and then $50, and then $100, every 2 weeks or so, to really build up in well, there's only about 4.5 months left, and if I can get at least $4,000 in savings, that'll be $4,000 more than I've been able to save for a year, because last year in June I had $1,000. So that only barely helped me get through the summer. I had to take out a car repair loan, but that is helping me improve my credit. So there's just things that I have to be consistent with every day, and I keep a to-do list. And we have to have faith. We have to make the best of the situation. I think this is what I would call proper shelter. I don't think, for me, living in a van life is very stressful. I know for a lot of people. Camper life is not that cheap, and it's also a little risky. So downsizing to a nice small apartment. 2 people can live in the studio just fine. Honestly. I got a balcony, so one can always go out on the balcony or go outside, take a walk, go to the inside pool, go to the community room and watch TV. I have a theater, go into the theater and watch TV. There's a variety of things that I can do outside of this small studio apartment where I don't have to sit here and feel confined unless it's raining or there's, bitter cold. At least I have proper shelter. So yeah, people that are going to make comments to you like, oh, you're sensitive, or you're delicate, or you have an overactive imagination. These are things that chip away at your self-esteem. And I'm an expert in this area, dialectical, behavioral, or cognitive therapy, I think is what it's called, guys. I have an ebook. I've studied self-talk, positive affirmations, how to write these scripts in hypnotherapy school. I could be a hypnotherapist. I know what I'm talking about. And this is what I used to make myself stronger and build up my self-esteem over many years. Because I was still in contact with the narcissist parent, and even though I moved away, thank goodness that was a blessing, I had a narcissist spouse. Now, my mother was still calling me on an almost daily basis, and finally I had support from my sister telling me, you've got to make yourself unavailable. I don't want to be rude, but I can't talk to you now. Try to call you later, things like that. That was hard because I had been trained as a young girl basically not to say no. Or, they would keep you on until they decided, okay, now I'm going to get off. And I'd met a female friend like that a couple of years ago now. And one night I said, why do you not remember not to call me after 9 p.m.? Why? I shouldn't have answered this phone. I wanted to tell her that. Oh, but I wanted to tell you such and such, right? And they just keep you on the phone. And then I told her, I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep. I'm going to hang up now. And they're still talking. She's still talking. And my mother would do that too. And so here it was, again, I'm encountering a person like that. And I got up to go to the bathroom. My phone fell and dropped and it died. I was kind of acting up anyway, but I wasn't really ready to go get a new phone. But I did, and it was just one more thing that told me, wow, it's so bad now that I can't even tell her I'm hanging up and she'll shut up and let me go. Falling asleep, didn't matter, blah, 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 blah. Running out of time. So yeah, putting up boundaries doesn't work. After I cut it off with her, she had somebody else text me. She gave them my phone number. I'm like, excuse me, what? Why are you contacting me? I don't think I've ever had a conversation with you. I met you once briefly. I never gave you my number. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then he was so weak. She convinced him again. He contacted me again. If you are so shallow that you'd rather have sexual benefits than stand up to someone who's using you, you need to examine your self-esteem. You need to work on your self-esteem. Don't let anybody put you down because they're chipping away at your self-esteem. And they are desensitized. They're insensitive. And they want you to be the same way. And they don't have an imagination. I don't think my mother was really very imaginative or creative. My ex-husband was really not imaginative or creative. Now, I've met one or two other people that do seem to be imaginative and creative. But I can't swear to it because I don't really know. They do have the ability to project their thoughts and their will, because they're so focused mentally. They're usually mostly in their head. And as an empath, you could pick up on that and paint a picture of what it is that they're thinking and see exactly a scenario of what it is that they're thinking. That's actually a superpower, guys. So what comes out of it are silver linings, knowing that your emotions are powerful and strong and you understand them. You're willing to have them. You're willing to cry and work through it. And then you can say things to someone like, you know what, I'm tired of you pointing out my faults when I'm trying to show you, hey, I'm interested in what you do too. They don't want to do it with you. If they did, they would have asked you to do it with them before. So this man that I had been talking to seemed to be spiritual. He was interested in dead spirits, and he told me that. He could see spirits. He was interested in the dead. He was even a grave digger at one point, and he showed me a spirit orb on a video that he made. He told the spirit, it's okay, you can come, and this little orb came down to the ground. He told me, I'm not into that anymore. I'm looking for people with light. Guys, there's some people that can sense that you are energetic, you have a good energy, you have a light. He told me, he said, I can see that you are a person of light. I could tell when I came up to you that you're harmless. He said, I can see auras. Okay? Now, I can see auras too, but not that easily. I'd have to place someone up against a white wall. If I've got other things going on in my mind and in my life. He literally told me that. So keep that in mind. If you're dealing with a really toxic person, they do have negative entities attached to them, and then that can get attached to you. I guess that's going to have to be for another video. So let me upload this one. Let your healing journey begin. You are strong when you are kind. You're not afraid to give. You're not threatened about giving and losing anything. You know it will come back to you. It's good karma. And I will talk to you soon.